We need a decoy. Elected. God, he's such a dick.
He is such a dick. And by the way, language.
Yeah, watch your language, folks. He drops the F word here. Watch out.
Watch out. And in a kid's show. I mean,
I know. They kind of get away with some things there, right? It's like, all right,
they get away with a couple of. They get away with. Man, I had a few moments where I forgot about this part.
So did I. There's a couple of times where I went, this is getting a little, risky. They might have, the people that are, looking over this stuff might have went like, all right, you're kind of going, a little far. I mean, even like how the way the episode starts with just the whole episode's just creepy.
Like, yeah.
It's it's in a museum of creepy crawlers and all these like different. Ugh.
No, I'm good. But I got to ask you something.
Okay.
Last week, at the end of the episode, I told you that I remembered part 2 being stronger than part 1. And you disagreed with me.
That's right. So how am I feeling?
How you feel? Like,
okay.
Am I right? Am I right? That's all I'm saying. I'm right,
Okay, I think you might be right.
Yeah, I told you.
Damn it! Well, it was just, I don't know. I was just thinking, I don't know why I thought like maybe the first part was just had the more, was a stronger episode. But when it came to like the creepy vibe, the action, there's a crazy little Easter egg that is in this episode that was like, I don't know if you caught it. There's something towards the end that I don't know if it's even an Easter egg. It just looked like something, and we'll get to it.
Okay, let's get to it. Okay,
yeah,
we'll get to it. And and we had the A-Team animation going on in this episode too. I'm not sure if you noticed that.
Yes, it was better. It was better than the first part. But yeah, I think you're right. After seeing this one again, it is like I said.
Never doubt me, Dave.
I know. Well, something I have to push. We have to have disagreements every now and again. But then
so I can smack you down, put you in the corner, and remind you who's in charge. Right. I mean, seriously.
You still got the teacher in you, so you gotta teach me and put me in my place. So it makes sense. But I mean, like I said, even like the start of this episode, we saw this one Clayface looking alien in the first.
Oh, Emperor Splooge. Yes. I'm glad you said Clayface looking because that's exactly what I thought.
It's exactly. I mean, I saw it. I was like, man, it's like a Clayface looking, and just the way he talks and everything, and he's splashing around the slime and everything. And obviously, we have Squeak, which we saw in the first part with his weird eyeball mouth thing, which was a cool little design. And there's a bunch of cool designs.
But the leeches that are flinging off. It's just so gross. By the way, cool little piece of trivia. The voice of Emperor Splooge, it's Richard Mall.
Richard Mall, no shit. Wow.
I know, right? I'm like, talk about a voice that doesn't sound like Richard Mall at all. Doesn't sound anything like Two-Face. And here he is as Emperor Splooge.
Jeez.
By the way, I had to look at Splooge was spelled Sploooj.
Okay. Because let's face it, that word can be used for other things.
Many different yes.
Yeah. So that kind of caught me off guard too, when it was like, okay, did they really use that word in a kid's show? But then again, this is back in the 90s. I don't know if people were using that term for a certain thing. Who knows? But this is a very risque episode we have here. Risque is
it's Lobo. It's
Lobo. I mean, it fits the character. It really fits the character. Starro cameo again. And then of course we got Droga. Good to see you, Tet. Good to see you guys showing up with the later time. But yeah, I was in Vegas for a night. Me and the young lady went to a little pool party thing. So we just went yesterday morning, got back today. Fun. Had a ton of fun. It was great. But still doing the stream. I was like, yes, we'll still do it. It wasn't like when the Arizona trip. That was a lot more. There's a lot more happening with that one. So, but cheers, everybody.
Yeah, I'm not drinking right now. I've learned something about those like Simply lemonades that my wife had me pick up. They are chock full of sugar. I had one last night. I could not go to bed. I was just so like wired. I'm like, it's alcohol. It's supposed to be like settling me down.
Yeah. That's why I can't do those kind of sweet drinks. I've tried one of those, and yeah, it's fine for one maybe, but yeah, I have a beer, I have a leftover beer that I have. I was just sitting in there, and I thought, well, it's a Lobo episode. Why not drink the beer?
We
Yeah,
get some spuds. Oh,
yeah,
he called them suds.
suds. That's right.
Suds.
It's
Yes.
good. It's a good name for a beer. But when we get back to where both Superman and Lobo are with a preserver was nice enough to give Superman back his, because when we saw him last, he was wearing his dad's Jor-El's uniform, but then the preserver was nice enough to give him back his costume, his actual costume. So at least he did that. But it's an interesting exchange because I like how the preserver says he normally doesn't like take sentient beings or whatever the heck, basically just like kind of giving Superman the idea of who he actually is and what he's doing, I guess you could say.
Yeah, but the idea is that he does he basically he just wants animals.
Yeah.
And not, more humanoid sentient creatures.
Yeah.
But the idea that Superman being the last Kryptonian and Lobo being the last Zarnian, which I did confirm that's how you pronounce it, Zarnian. Yeah. For me, I was thinking about it sounds like Narnia.
Yeah.
So yeah,
good way to figure that one out. And then of course we have Lobo, who at first it seems like he is in a dream or in his cage or at his display case, I guess you could say. And he's got
like a man cave.
It looks like a man cave. It looks exactly where he would actually live. He's got two ladies that are kissing him awake, and of course he goes like, pinch me, I must be dreaming, and one of them does pinch. I mean, again, it gets a little risque. And then I just love how he's just like, he walks and he's just he's like, okay, this is cool, and he just like walks and just slams right into the glass, and Superman's like, morning. Yeah.
Oh god,
Superman is just not having it. I love it when Superman has his arms crossed, when it's like with Lex, with anybody, and he's just giving them the business the way that he does.
And Tim Daly's delivery, like the man has great timing, but I just love it. Just holding his arms like, morning. Like, remember where we are now?
Yeah. Remember like you helped get me captured, and then you got captured. You remember this whole thing? And then of course, so when it comes to these ladies that are in his cage, they are robots, because anytime he gets out of order, it gets, again, creepy. Their mouths open up very wide, hoses come out, and gas shoots out.
What is it about overextending jaws that just is like the creepiest? It's one of the creepiest things.
It's unsettling, even though it's a robot, it's just very unsettling, and it just works. It gives that creepy vibe. Did you notice that there was a Kiz poster on his wall?
No, I didn't.
Dude, I caught it. I caught it when all this is happening. You see a poster of, it looks like Kiss. You see all the guys, the makeup, but it says Kiz with two Z's.
Oh,
like, that's a cool little Easter egg. I'm wondering, Paul Dini, maybe they're fans. Let's throw that in there. It's Lobo, for God's sakes. He looks like a Kiss member.
And it might not have been Paul Dini. It might have been a storyboard artist that threw it in there. Sometimes those visual cues aren't actually in the script. True. A lot of times it was a storyboard artist who like throws it in there because the animation studios were animating off the storyboard. So it's possible that it was just one, an artist who threw it in as a gag or something. Yeah,
because again, I didn't even think about it till now. I mean, he looks like he could be a member from Kiss. He's got the white face.
He really does, yes.
So it works for him. So then we got Superman using his noggin, because he's still doesn't have the strength, because he's got that red light that's just keeping him powerless. But he gets, that crystal that he has in his cage, he ends up reflecting some red light onto a triceratops looking creature or whatever the heck.
See, I thought it looked more like a rhino myself.
I mean, I guess it could be both, right?
Yeah.
Similar. I was like, triceratops, rhino. Yeah, it's more rhino-esque because it had the horn on the nose, right? And triceratops just have did they have a horn on the nose? They don't.
Yeah, because it was.
They do.
Oh, Dave.
I know. I was like trying to remember. They have it. I'm like sitting there.
Yes. Try.
Yeah.
3.
They both have horns. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because the triceratops had 2 up here.
Yeah, and then one right there. That's right. For some reason, I was thinking of Land Before Time. I was thinking of that. Remember that?
I love that. Oh my god, that movie!
Yeah.
Don Bluth knew how to destroy us as '80s kids. So let's just be honest.
Christ, how many times you cry when it comes to that?
Oh god.
Yeah. So I don't know why I was thinking about that little because I forgot the name of the little Triceratops, the orange one, but she had like a small. It was a she, I believe.
It was a she. Yes.
She had a small like little horn on her. And for some reason, I was visualizing that. I'm like, wait a minute. So that's where my brain went, folks. The Land Before Time.
Which is a classic. If you are too young to 100%. Have seen it, just be Ducky, yes, and just be prepared to be emotionally destroyed by animated dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, 100%. And then I remember even collecting the little rubber puppets from
Pizza Hut.
Hell yes. Yeah, those things were stiff and weird, but I don't think I got every one of them. I think I got what was the main one? What was the main
what we would have called a brontosaurus back then, which is now a brachiosaurus. Yeah, what was that character?
Yeah,
I had that.
Littlefoot.
Yes,
yeah, that's what it was. I knew it had something to do with that. Anyways, that's our time with Land Before Time right there. You're welcome, folks, for going on that tangent. But yep. What's going on there, Josh? Good to see you. Anyways, so he uses that, and then of course this creature, Littlefoot. Yeah, thank you, pretty fly for a Filipino guy. Good to see you, buddy. So he uses that to reflect it, and of course this creature gets upset. It's like a bull, is seeing the light, wants to destroy wherever it's coming from, and then starts charging, hits the glass a couple of times to break Superman loose, and then of course Lobo's like, "Hey, come on, man, you're not gonna leave me here, are you?"
And I love how and Superman's like, well, yeah. It's like, screw you, buddy. Just like,
and then Lobo gets super like pissed off, and then he just starts going off as he's getting gassed again, because obviously he's saying the foul, language that he was saying, and of course they go like, such foul language, Preserver's not gonna like this, and starts doing the whole gas thing. And then he just starts going off saying he's gonna turn the Earth into guacamole. I was like,
I'm gonna kick your big red ass.
Yes. They push it. They push it with the language. It's great. With it's supposed to be off colored, but not really. That's what I love about the script with this one. But he starts doing that, and that just kind of makes Superman go, well, I guess I can make a deal with him to like, hey, if I break you out, you got to stay the fuck away from Earth and everything. And then of course Lobo says, yes, like of course he will.
Main man's word is his bond, man.
There it is. Good God, Brad Garrett. I tell you, just delivering those lines so beautifully. So then, he makes a deal, and then he goes, "Hey, Blue, thanks," and then punches him.
Would you think I was getting soft?
Yeah, exactly. Which, I mean, I guess that kind of makes sense. He was like, hey, he's got to keep his image up, because he was begging. He was begging for Superman to get him out. So he had to it was an ego thing for sure. So, and then of course we got security drones that start coming in, to attack them.
Oh no, hold on. I want to go to something that I thought was a little dirty and just a little, because you still have the robo biker chicks who try to gas him again, and he ties the hoses once again. Total Looney Tunes with Lobo. He ties the hoses together, and the gas builds up and kind of blows up, and Lobo goes, ah. Did they look like a couple of boobs to you?
Yes, it did.
Okay,
good. I'm glad you went there. Because I thought that too. I was like, I think that was supposed to represent some boobs. Yeah, some boobies right there, and it worked. We both saw it. We're both immature. Yes, we saw the boobs. We know what you're doing.
I'm mature. I speak that language. I speak the immature language.
Whatever you say. We'll go with that. But anyways, and then so then of course the security drones are attacking, and they're both not in full strength, so they're kind of losing this battle because of the weaponry. And then of course Lobo is just like, if they take us again, they're going to strap us to the floor with razor wire, and then goes off on the whole thing of like, I guess he's into certain things sexually, because he does like kind of, well, don't knock it for like a normal evening kind of thing. It's like, good God. I'm like, what are you into, dude? Razor wire? Sitting on it? Ugh. Yeah, but what could he do? And then of course Superman's like, we need a decoy, and I just loved that. That was like my favorite thing in the whole thing. I rewound it because I laughed, because he just goes, elected, and then just kicks him out there. Because he's such a dick.
Which works because the drones go after Superman and Lobo goes behind them and starts smashing them. So it wasn't like he completely screwed him over.
Yeah.
Like
it worked.
It worked. It did what he said he was trying to do.
Exactly. So that's why I was like, my favorite. That was like my favorite little exchange right there. I just laughed at that. And then of course, Lobo, when they when they escape, at least that part, they obviously have to still escape the planet. But
ship.
Lobo,
We're not on a planet.
Ship. That's right. Ship, not the planet. Ship. It just has a bunch of things that make it seem like it's a planet. So Lobo, of course, he's pissed off and he wants to like just give payback to the preserver, which I don't, obviously don't blame him. And Superman just wants to leave, wants to find a ship and leave. And but naturally, the preserver's watching all this stuff because he's got everything, of course, monitored, and they drop down, and it's like, okay, now we're gonna see another freaking creature. Holy shit, it's just nonstop when it comes to everything here, because they fall down to a sand pit, and of course there's a big snake with no eyes. It's just a mouth. And
I got some Dune vibes, like sandworm, kind of deal, and
Beetlejuice kind of,
Beetlejuice, good call, good call,
got a little bit of that, but it's a creepy one. And then so obviously, like, Lobo is about to get chomped. Superman saves him. Lobo says, "I owe you one." And then all of a sudden, it's like the other way around. Superman then, is in the mouth, holding it up, and he goes, "Lobo, you said you owed me one." And Lobo was just like watching, and he goes, "What do you mean now?"
Now, it's like, and then he rips the skin off the snake. Like, you see muscles and veins, and I love it when he's holding the skin after the creature like does it. He goes, "Belt."
So good. Just the way that Brad, like the way that he even says the like belt. It's just like so ridiculous. This is like a buddy cop kind of thing,
It is a buddy, and I think that's why I love part 2 so much. Like, the two of them teaming up, is so much fun.
Yeah, that's where, again, you're right. Yes, and that's what makes it, is the fact that it's got that buddy cop. Because they're so different from each other, and
it's Lethal Weapon.
It's Lethal Weapon. Yeah,
Superman is Danny Glover, and Lobo is totally Mel
Gibson. 100% Riggs. Yeah, Riggs and Murtaugh right here. So we got that, and then Superman. Let's see, like we got and then of course Squeak, who of course is looking for Lobo, and he hold
on. Remember, Squeak is the guy. Squeak is the one he's on the ship. He's the one trying to turn in.
His brother.
The brother, which had the weirder name that we never bothered to write down.
Yeah.
They're the ones looking for him.
Yeah. So you got him and his guys looking for, so it's his brother. And of course, Squeak, he's just chilling. He's enjoying himself.
He's got a hammock,
he's got a cold drink, and he's also got the robotic, or the robo bims, as Lobo calls them. I caught that little line too. I'm like, robo bims, nice. But he's got himself a pair of robots that is like, treating him. But then of course Lobo comes in. It's like, okay. There's no way you're not going to be joining this right here. And basically just grabs him because obviously he needs him. So and then of course, Squeak and not Squeak, but his brother and his crew start, they board the ship and they start going after him again. They're not full strength. Superman's not full strength because he hasn't gotten any. I mean, he's got a little bit of strength. Obviously, he could fly a little bit. He has some strength, but he needs some good old UV. You need some rays from that yellow sun, and it's kind of cool what he does right here. I like what he does because obviously he sees what they're doing. They're surrounding them.
They're flanking him. Yeah.
Yeah. And he sees that. And then he looks over at there's another, some animals in another spot right here. He sees it. You can't even make it out really because his vision's not fully there. You only see silhouettes, and you see like a bird like creature. And then he comes up with an idea, and it's pretty awesome because when there's like some fighting going on, obviously their weapons, they're shooting lasers. It's not working out for Lobo and Superman.
Pew, 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 pew,
exactly.
Pew, pew.
And Lobo's loving it too. And he's like, I'm gonna go down with a fight kind of thing because that's the way he is. Again, he's Riggs. So when Superman approaches that, I mean, he basically was like, when he's trying to get into this, and this, it's not even a cage, it's like a full-on building that has like a whole other.
It would be like a arboretum, basically.
There you go. That works because this has a different environment in it, because it's a different creature, which you don't really know until he breaks open the door, and then they shoot him, and he just goes like, "Oh yeah, I just there's a very lethal, hideous like creature that's gonna do some damage."
Superman doesn't even say that. The bounty hunters assume that.
That's right, and then they throw him in there to be like, "All right, well let him deal with this," and it's a dodo bird. It's a good old dodo bird. But what was cool about that is, dodo bird, Earth. And of course he pets and stuff like that. And then lo and behold, he looks up, and guess what? We got
yellow sun lamp.
Yes, just right there. And he does the whole, and then Squeak's brother's like, uh-oh. Yeah, now you're fucked. Man, you fucked there. Eyeball mouth, whatever the hell. So, yeah, so then all that happens, and then we just get a cool little, oh my God. Again, so we got Lobo who's trying to get away, and then the Preserver shows up, and the Preserver looks pissed. His big Humpty Dumpty face, he's so pissed. His mouth, you could just tell he is so upset. But little do we know, this is not his actual form, of course.
Or he has another form. Like, that is something I really want to explain to me about his species. Like, because he gets to change into pissed off mode.
Yeah.
And oh God, that transformation, like just coming out of his mouth, and he's ripping the outer shell. It would have been funny if he would have cracked open like an egg, because he looked like an egg. But no, he has to tear his skin off.
And it's like, how is that all fitting in there? I mean, obviously he's got technology that we don't understand. That's most likely what it is.
Or is it what his species is like?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because it's almost like we have a little foreshadowing when it came to Lobo ripping the skin off the snake. But I don't know, maybe not, because it wasn't like the snake was something completely different underneath. But yeah, I mean, he comes out and he's like this big red, almost like, it reminded me of the bear owl thing in Dungeons and Dragons movie, but red,
Okay, yeah.
With the claws and shit. It just kind of reminded me a little bit of that, but red and hideous and gross and strong. So obviously Lobo is like starting to get his ass beat right now, and of course Superman comes in to try to save his ass again. But you didn't notice that there was one of the ships looked like a gold Batwing?
Okay, I was too busy thinking it looked like a Klingon ship from Star Trek.
It looked like a gold Batwing to me.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's just like when I saw that, I was like, "What?"
Because the wings kind of do the bat, and when we say Batwing, it was more like the Burton Batwing.
Yeah. It looked like, let me see. I'll get a shot of it right here. There it is. Yeah, it is interesting. Because I was like, why does that look like a gold Batwing, like big time? So that's there it is right there. It just kind of looks like a gold Batwing. It's got the wings right there. I mean, it's a little different, but it's got like that right there. It's just that's for me. Like,
you know what? Actually, or maybe I'm trying to think if it looked like, to me, it was not a Klingon bird of prey, but maybe it's more like a Romulan. I know I'm talking Star Trek, and you weren't a Star Trek guy, but it kind of reminds me of a Romulan ship from Star Trek. I think that's why I didn't make the Batwing reference.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, this entire fight, though, starts to feel like Ripley versus the Queen.
Ooh, yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
In Aliens.
Yes. Yeah, it kind of does, but with superheroes. And, it's a good fight, too. It's a good back and forth. I mean, obviously, like I said, Lobo was getting his ass handed to him, and then Superman came in, but then Superman started kind of getting his ass handed to him. I love this shot right here. Look at the shot.
That was a sweet shot.
It's such a good shot. He gets shoved down into the ground right there of the ship. But it was such a cool shot just to show that. And then, I mean, this is what we'll just jump right into watching some of this right here. I just like how the transition of him to like coming out of the hole right here. Boop. I love that. There's that music.
And I love this classic Lobo prop. The hook on the chain. And this is our first time really seeing it, because he used a crowbar in part one. he didn't bring out the hook and the chain.
There he is. Oh. Hey, Soups.
And is this the first time he gets called Soups in the series?
Is it really? Crazy. I didn't even. Yeah, here's like aliens right here.
Yeah, this is aliens right now. Yeah.
Hang on.
What's so funny to me is like, why does Lobo care? We've already seen him flying out in the vacuum of space.
He's okay, right?
Now, Superman, however, does it. Oh, nails.
Yes. Some Sam Raimi shit right there. Bye-bye.
Yeah, this is totally. That's totally aliens. Yes.
Oh yeah, big time. Just with when it comes to the Queen getting sucked out into space like that. But yeah, I thought that too, that it had an aliens vibe. And then of course it goes right to just Lobo just chilling like he's on a beach somewhere, but he's just with Mr. Splooge again.
Yeah, and I love how Squeak's there, like having to like wash him, and then the bounty hunter crew has basically been put on like slave duty.
Pretty much they have to. And then of course, where did we go back to? Where did we end this episode? Back at the Fortress of Solitude, but now looking more like the Fortress of
Solitude. Yes, exactly.
Because now
there's a computer there,
and now we got all the animals getting
right, which is something in the comics.
Yes,
is referred to as the menagerie.
The menagerie. There you go.
So I like how the animated series decided to explain the menagerie as in, well, there are all these creatures that Superman saved from the preserver ship.
Yeah, it's cool, and there's still no mention. We still haven't like really gotten a full on like this is called the Fortress of Solitude yet or nothing like that. It's just basically, if you're watching, Superman fans, of course, know exactly what it is, and I just like how it's like slowly introducing it. Because we saw it that the first time. What was the first time that we saw it?
Stolen Memories, because that's where he put the Krypton orb that he gets from Brainiac.
Yeah, so he has that there, and now he's going to have these creatures that he can have there. Even the dodo bird. I mean, it's funny. He could have just put the dodo bird back somewhere.
You know what? And now that you say that, that reminds me, though, because remember how I talked about in part 1 how there was a continuity error when it came to them talking about testing Superman's rocket, but yet Stolen Memories showed them already doing like a hyperspace jump with it. But at the end of Stolen Memories, he's in that cave, and it doesn't have any of this fancy stuff. And he's like, I knew this place would come in handy someday. Yeah. So Stolen Memories, as far as the Fortress of Solitude is concerned, Stolen Memories has to come before the main man, part 1 and part 2. But it's just the little, it's a few lines of dialogue in part 1 that make the continuity an issue when it comes to Superman's rocket ship.
Yeah, so I mean, what could he do? It's not going to always be perfect, but it's a good way to end it because I like
how, as good fans, we're going to point out.
Yes, that's what we do.
We're going to be objective about this and go, you fucked up there.
Yeah, we'll point it out, but we won't. It's not going to ruin it for us, but we'll point it out. So, yeah. See, even Ryan, we just talked about it, Ryan, but he even said like, did anyone notice the golden Batman '89 plane? I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of wondering like what they were thinking. Like, again, Scott went to, what did you go to? You went to
Romulans and Star Trek.
The Romulan shit. I can't even say that.
Okay. Say it with me.
Okay.
Romulan.
Okay, there you go. Didn't have that U in there. I was like, Romlian? That doesn't sound right. Anyway, it's Mr. Splooge Cannon. That's funny. Well, depends on how you look at it. There's definitely some splooge on in the Snyderverse canon. All right.
So I have a couple of T-shirts with it on it.
T-shirts that have some splooge on it. Anyways,
that's bad splooge though.
Yeah. No, it's just a cool way to end it because he's walking through like the hallway, looking at the different creatures.
And I just love the fact that this is gonna come back in like a couple of years. We're gonna come right back to this. It's just.
And the music swells as he says it pulls out, and then it just, I
guess he just has a heart for hard cases.
That's right. That's what he said. That was a good last line from Lobo right there. But Yeah, it's better than part one. And we just blew through this like quick too, because there's just
It's a lot of action.
That's the thing. It's hard to like fully discuss action. It's like, oh yeah, Superman punches, Lobo gets hit, and stuff like that. So
we're not doing a play-by-play here.
Yeah, we're not trying to do that much unless something significant happens during the fight. That's what we're going to be talking about. But yeah, I mean, but it's just the episode blows by like that because it's so entertaining, start to finish. It's nonstop. I mean, they're trying to escape this whole thing, the ship, and that's the whole premise. There's nothing there. There's no other characters. You don't see anything on Earth, nothing. It is specifically a buddy cop movie with Superman and Lobo. It's Lethal Weapon in space, which we've heard that before, heard that term. But yeah, and it's just a great entertaining episode, great music. Brad Garrett is a beast, literally. And yeah, it's gross episode and risque.
So basically, you're saying the perfect DC animated universe episode,
right? I think it might be. Man. So we'll see. But what we got next week?
Okay, my girl, talking about my girl.
We're gonna be watching
the name of the. That's
actually. Oh, is it really called that?
It's really called My Girl. Yes.
Is this a Lois episode? I'm trying to remember, or is it a Lana Lang?
Lana Lang.
Yeah. Okay. I was about to say we're gonna get the Lana Lang back. I was wondering when that was when she was gonna be coming back. So there it is. Ooh, that's if I remember some of this. It's gonna be interesting. Okay.
And this was definitely Lana. This was a Lana Lang.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one. This will be one to break down and discuss for sure. But all right, well, make sure you guys watch that, and we'll be back. We should be back at the normal time. Things change, but I don't think any of us are going out of town next. So I've been out of town twice this month. I think I'm going to relax for at least the month of August.
You can stay home this weekend.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. I've driven the equivalent of 16 hours, over 16 hours in 2 weeks, driving to Arizona and back. And then
you could have finished an audiobook in that time.
Pretty much. Yeah. I know. But, I also got, her in the car. So it was great because about 2 hours back from this trip that we went on, we just put on Weird Al. Just did a Weird Al fucking random. Yeah, it was just like for some reason I just thought about it. I was like, oh yeah, we should listen. Let's just listen to random Weird Al songs, and we were loving it. I was singing along the old ones that I loved and was obsessed with. There were some new ones I hadn't even heard of, and we were cracking up on those.
Oh my god! If you haven't heard the new, now this one came out like in 2018. But did you ever listen to Word Crimes?
Yes, dude. We almost wanted to listen to it again because we couldn't catch everything. But yeah, it was the same. Yeah, it's based on what's that? What's the parody? It's Word Crimes.
Is it? I always forget who. I always forget what's it. Yeah.
Yes,
what the artist is.
Yeah, I can't even remember his name. It's what I'm like totally blanking on all of it.
I'm gonna look it up because I can't let.
It's called something Blinds, something. I don't know.
Okay. Let's see. What is it? What's it based on? Here we go. Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke.
There it is. Jeez, it was right there. I could see the video because, the video. If you saw the uncensored version, it was nice. Yeah. So it's on that, and yeah, it is. We were just busting up on. Because it makes fun of just bad grammar, bad.
Oh, it's all about bad grammar. Yeah, it's fabulous.
It was that Weird Al is just. He is such a genius.
He's a genius.
Have you watched the Weird movie yet?
No,
you have to watch it. It's so ridiculous. We watched it at Lake Havasu actually 2 weekends ago. After we were done doing everything, we went back to the Airbnb and put it on. It's ridiculous. It's great. Daniel Radcliffe does such a fantastic job.
Have they got to the point now where I can watch it without having the Roku channel?
I don't know because the Airbnb had a Roku, so that's how we watched it. I don't know if it's on. I don't know if it's on Amazon or something yet. But what's funny about it is. It's a parody of a biopic. Don't take it seriously. Yes. It's Weird Al. It's got probably beats from his story, but it plays out making fun of the biopic. It's like, of course it is. And it gets out. It just gets ridiculous. Yeah, it's great. Watch.
I still remember what my first Weird Al song was.
Is it Eat It?
No.
Bologna? My Bologna?
Nope.
Dare to be rides the bus. Oh, dude, when I was driving home, that played. I love that. Yeah. Dare to be stupid. Dare to be stupid. Yeah.
Because it was in the Transformers movie in '86.
Oh, wow.
Because Weird Al was the voice of one of the trash, like the Trashicons or something when they crash on the planet. And Dare to Be Stupid plays, and that was my first. I was 4. That was my first movie I saw in theaters, so it's my first Weird Al song.
Dude, that song is great, and it's an original song, but it's fun. What's funny about that song, yeah. What's funny about that is like it's not a parody off of thing, but they're parodying Devo.
Yes,
he wrote a Devo song, and if you watch the video, they're wearing like yellow suits. He's got like swimming goggles on, and he's just like they're doing like and it's so ridiculous. But so it's not parodying a Devo song, but it's parodying Devo
themselves.
Yeah. That's what I remember. I remember I was watching like some behind the scenes thing, and that's what he talked about. It's like not a parody, but we're parodying them. So great song, by the way.
Well, anyway, that's a great tangent at the end of this.
Yes,
episode.
I know, right? Well, we had, you know, this was a shorter episode than normal, so why not go off on a little Weird Al Yankovic tangent? Nothing wrong with that. If you haven't listened to Weird Al, do yourself a favor. Some of his new songs are just we're killing us right there. And he's also got another thing too. Just keep on the subject. I love it in his albums when he has his little polka mashups.
Yes.
So fucking good because he's not parodying anything. He's just singing like choruses to popular songs in polka fashion. And the transitions are so fucking... The man is brilliant. I mean, I can't stress that enough. I'm like, you might look at him like a goofball, which he is, but he's so brilliant at it. That's the thing. And that's why god damn. Anyways, this has been the Weird Al Fan-imated stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed yourself. Go ahead, Scott. Plug away.
Of course, you can find me on Twitter at ScottDC27. You can find my podcast, the DC Squadcast, wherever podcasts can be found. We are on Vero, Facebook, YouTube, with the entire network of shows at squadcastmedia.com. In the can, as of we recorded them literally right after we finished the Main Man Part 1 Fan-imated stream last Sunday. We've recorded our next 2 scene breakdowns for The Batman.
There you go. So check that out, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, the normal time for Film Junkie Live, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Lots to talk about as usual. Some interesting things happened today that caused a little weird, you know, people are like, whoa, Zack Snyder tweeted. Ooh, what did he tweet? Well, you guys all saw it. It was pretty funny seeing the reactions to that, mainly positive, of course, but there's always those certain ones. Anyways, guys, smash that like, thumbs up, do all that. We'll talk about all the stuff tomorrow. Film Junkie Live, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll talk to you guys later.